Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 1/7/2021. First, I would like to just mention a few things I'm disappointed in. I'm disappointed in the generation before me. You know who you are. The 75 and 65-year-olds who are now retiring, and you're going to have all the money in the world. 40-year-olds ain't going to get a damn thing. Ain't going to get a damn thing. But I want to explain how we got here. See, back a while ago, there was something called the Greatest Generation, and they were the folks that fought the war. They beat the Nazis. They beat back the Japanese. They saved a generation. But they made it too easy for the next generation, who thought everything was handed to them. And it was. And it was. It was handed to them. College paid for by parents. They had it easy. Buy a house cheap. They failed to keep their oversight. They failed to be the watchdogs that they were ordered to be by the Constitution of our elected officials. I'm at a loss for words for your generation. I have no respect for you, ever. I don't. That goes from the person who owns the place I live in to the people I used to work for. I have no respect for you. I don't have any respect for you. You were feckless cowards. Feckless cowards who didn't stand up for anything. You just bent the knee and kept moving forward. These are my true feelings, so I hope I trigger some of you. You proved yesterday that your generation couldn't keep their oversight because you see what happened. 25 years ago, people warned you of folks like Jeffrey Epstein and the cabal and what Hollywood was doing to children. And nobody listened. And everybody said they hate Trump because he's a racist, he's a bigot. Trump is none of those things. Trump was an honest man. He called out the pedophiles. He called out the pedophiles in 2013, October 12th. He said, we have to do something about all these kids getting grabbed by the perverts. Swift trial, executions. He wasn't lying. When he ran for president, you saw everybody start to panic. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein get arrested and supposedly kill himself. Yeah, right. Hung himself with paper sheets. Come on. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you on the moon. I'll take payments. You can pay me 50 grand as a down payment and we'll go from there. You know who you are. We know who you are. And I want to tell you that a lot of people in my generation have no more respect for you folks anymore. None. If your teeth were on fire, we wouldn't piss on your gums. Think about that. I wouldn't give a squirt of piss to put out the fire in your teeth. Even if I had to go real bad, I'd probably go piss on a plant. Wouldn't give you a drop. You have in this government a group of evil, satanic men and women, from Mike Pence all the way down to the Speaker of the House, to the so-called President-elect and his whore of a vice president, who's nothing but a trampy trollop slut who lied to get everywhere she is in life and then calls other people liars. Lied to get her position as vice president, banged out a mayor to get position as the district attorney in San Francisco, and then failed to prosecute 70 members of the Catholic Church who were accused of raping children. I think Lynn Wood is onto something. I heard 2 years ago that Pence was a satanic pedophile, and his wife was involved in trafficking. We knew that Hunter Biden was involved in human trafficking. We knew that Hunter Biden was involved in illegal bank scams in China and the Ukraine. And yet, somehow people say Joe Biden got 80 million votes. What you've done is destroyed a nation to the generation before me. Not the silent generation. That was my parents' generation. The boomers. And the boomers know who you are. You know who you are. Do us a favor. Pack your shit and get out of my country. You failed miserably. We don't accept failure. I don't accept failure. Your children don't accept failure. You had a duty in this country to be the watchdogs of your elected representatives, and you failed miserably. You were too busy fucking off, getting fucked up, partying, living off mommy and daddy's fucking hard labor. My generation is fucked because of yours. Because of yours. Because you wouldn't stand up and fight for what was right. I had a great conversation today with a friend of mine who said, you're a little too upset over this. And that's because he's in another world. He thinks that everything's just fine and dandy. Well, it's not. It's not. What happened on the 3rd of November, 2020, was a complete and utter farce. We have documents, tens of thousands of sworn affidavits, whistleblowers. The World Court in Italy, a man just testified. Head of the military testified how they were involved in changing votes through the internet in Dominion. We've been lied to. Problem is, the boomers believe everything they're told and expect no consequences for their actions. You deserve to lose everything. You deserve to lose everything. Everything. You deserve to lose visitation rights for your grandkids. You deserve to lose your homes. You deserve to lose your driver's licenses, your businesses. They should all be taken from you. You should have to walk the earth for the rest of your life and be forced to deal with and think about your inactions, your laziness, your negligence. And a lot of those companies, they hire people that don't even belong in the country because it's cheap labor. Okay. What happened on the 6th was not patriots. I had a friend on the ground there. It was not patriots that did this. These were, and we have the tweets from Antifa members explaining exactly what they were going to do. Not one of those people that went into that building was a registered Republican or a Trump supporter. But you folks won't believe it because you're just about as naive as anybody could ever be. You believe everything the media tells you. You don't do any research because you're lazy and feckless. Spineless cowards. That's what you are. Send more people into war that aren't your kids as long as they're not your kids. I'll tell you what, you want war? Get your old rickety ass down to the fucking recruitment office and sign up. Go to war. You're going to have war, and it's not going to be in this country. Because within 3 months of this so-called administration, Biden is going to be forced to step down for health issues. Harris will take over, and we will be in a ground war with Iran. And it will get messy. You've sold out our future because you failed to learn from the past. We the people have never been more fractured in our history. Never. Lying, cheating losers in the generation before me who just worried about themselves and said, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. I love that one. I don't want to talk about it. After you bring it up, you don't want to talk about it. Get fucked. I hope nothing but the worst for you folks. Didn't stand up for the March for Our Lives, didn't stand up for unborn children's rights. And then you go to your churches and you think that you're better than everybody else. Meanwhile, your churches have been raping kids for fucking decades. Nobody says a word about it. Shh, don't say anything. Keep a secret. No secrets here. We have nothing but disdain for you. We don't want you anywhere near us. I don't want to be near any of the people in your generation. You were entrusted from the generation before you to keep your oversight and to be the watchdogs. And you fucking failures. I don't care how big your businesses are. I don't care how much money you think you have, because you don't. That money isn't yours. It's never going to be yours. And you know why? Because when it starts costing you $15 for a gallon of milk, that money's not going to last very long. People like me, we don't have anything to lose. We've lost everything already. You are failures. You failed your children, you failed your grandchildren, you failed your great-grandchildren, you failed your country. More importantly, as far as I'm concerned, you failed your Heavenly Father. Because you're nothing but two-faced, low-life scumbags. From the folks that own their own businesses, to the folks who are retired already, and you know who you are, who brag about the pensions you got, to the people in your family that are suffering, how you brag you make over $10,000 a month each. I hope that money can buy your way into heaven, because it's not. You deserve to rot in hell. I will not